Thank you guys to be here. I'm really excited to be here and share this project that for the company and for in my case, in my personal case, is a very important project. So I hope that you can enjoy it. So Bunsan, yeah, we are a consulting company in Mexico, and since almost 6 years. We have been using Elixir and also giving classes in Mexico. And in the company is 100% a remote company. So we also run the Elixir Meetup in Mexico City and also the Elixir conference in Mexico. And in this year, we also are helping to run the ElixirConf in Latin America that is going to be in Medellin, in Colombia. So we are really involved in the Elixir community since a long time ago. Inside the company, the internal training is something that is very important for us. And as we are a 100% remote company, it's hard. No, it's difficult to try to have, for example, a workshop or a specific training inside the company, because it's hard to try to bring all the people together in a physical place and give the training. So for us, the question was how we can improve this experience, especially because we, inside the company, like to give classes. So some people ask us about, well, why don't you use some other tools or other services that already are in internet? But for us, the thing was how we can create a better experience giving live remote training. It's not just to have pre-recorded material like tutorials, but it's more about the experience that you can have more close when you are physically all together. So the main goals 2 years ago that we were talking about was, well, first, we want to have real-time classes. Second, that we can have a simple way to manage all the stuff related to the training. For example, preparing or schedule the classes, and also how to manage the students and that kind of things. The third will be that students can select the content. For us, we want to have a tool that can be more easy for the students, that can interact with the professor, with the trainer, yeah, the instructor. And the other one was that we can give better tools to the instructor to share any kind of content. No? First, of course, we need to have video and audio. That's some part that is very important. But also, we want to have a medium to share, for example, code, or also have the slides, also have some other kind of resources that we want to share. We want to record these sessions, and one point that for us is also very important is the whiteboard. When you are giving a class, it's normal that the students have some questions, and in some cases it's difficult to just explain those things with the sound and the video, but you need another way to try to draw and try to explain in a better way the concepts. So we ask, okay, what if we look to the market to find the tool or the tools to try to cover those goals? So we spent around 3 months looking for the tools. That was 2 years ago. And we found that almost all those tools were designed for different purposes. Yeah? For example, if you are using Skype or Zoom or those kind of tools, are more related to meetings, so they don't have the things that we need to give to have a good experience giving a class. Moodle, for example, could be another option, but for us was too much. Was too complicated with a lot of things that we really don't care about. Also, we found that we need to use more than one tool in order to have everything. So, and that was a big problem for us. So the other thing was, the final thing was that they don't provide good interactions between the students and the instructors. So after doing all this work, well, we decided internally that we need to build our own tool in order to achieve those goals. So in that moment, Tich was born. And well, now, in order to explain with more detail about how Tich works, how all the technical things, I'm going to invite Pedro. Pedro is the technical leader of the team and has been working all these 2 years in the project. So please, Pedro.
Thank you. Thank you. So can you hear me now? Okay. Here. Thank you. So my name is Pedro Hernndez. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm really happy to be here with you. And yeah, since 2017, I have been working with Elixir and pretty awesome technologies building this product. So I want to show you how we build it. So first of all, I want to tell you about the main features of our platform. First of all, as Norberto said, yeah, it can be pretty challenging to give a course when you just have your voice and your slides deck. You know, when somebody asks you something that is kind of hard to explain just with your voice, you need a proper tool to improvise at that moment. So that's why in real world classroom, we have whiteboards. Yeah. So in this, we wanted to create that experience. Then the other problem was that when you are giving an online course, you need different tools, okay? You need an application to share your slide deck, for example. You need another application to stream your video of your screen or your camera, and also you need to stream your audio. Yeah, it can be pretty annoying when you are the instructor and you have to switch between those applications. And also remember, you will always stream video. So yeah, it can be difficult, you know, and it is expensive. We Tich, say no more to that, because you will have this in only one application, and we will show you how we do that. And of course, we are worried about better student interaction. Yeah, during the session, it can be also pretty challenging to to launch a question for the instructor, to keep the track of the content. It can be difficult, okay? So let's talk about the development of these features. I want to show you the structure of how this platform has been built. We have 3 different applications, okay? The first one is a simple manager to manage your courses and your classes. This is the entry point for the web virtual classroom, okay? Both of these applications are built with Elixir on the backend side, and they use Phoenix, of course, yeah? In the front-end side, we use Vue.js, and for the web virtual classroom, we have used different purposes, technologies as WebRTC and RabbitMQ. And the web virtual classroom will work along with another application. It is an iPad application. This iPad application is built 100% with Swift, and we will tell you more about this in a moment. Let's take a quick peek of the user interface that we provide you in Tich. This is an example of how the instructor will have his own interface, okay? There are 4 important parts here. The central part is the content that the instructor wants to share with the students in that moment, okay? So here, for example, the instructor is showing the whiteboard, okay? In the bottom side, you can see some controls in order to activate your microphone, your camera, or your screen, okay? In the top side, you will have a proper toolbar in order to manipulate the whiteboard. In the right side, you will have a panel in order to communicate with your students. You can check if somebody has a question or if somebody has just activated his microphone, okay? This interface represents another very important feature. It is a real-time slides viewer. We will tell you more about this in a moment. And this is the view of the student. For the student, it's very important to keep the track of the content that the instructor is showing at that moment. So imagine that the instructor is sharing with you slides, whiteboard, and video, okay? So the student has the availability to change between those content, okay? In this example, I am sharing for my streaming of the video of the screen. So I am sharing the screen, the student is watching the screen, and he is interacting with the students by the chat. Excellent. So how did we build it? First, I want to tell you about video conference. Yeah, streaming can be pretty challenging. As you listened yesterday on the membrane framework talk, it can be super hard to implement a good architecture here. And as we have a web product, this has to use WebRTC. Okay, WebRTC can be implemented in different ways. So WebRTC is a stack of real-time communication solutions. It includes some technologies and protocols, and you can implement it in many ways. Yeah, the ideal way is to implement it peer-to-peer, to create connection peer-to-peer, but it doesn't support many connections, so we decided to use a media server. Okay, here we use a media server, and I want to share with you the result. Okay, this is an example of the interface of the instructor, as you can see here in this corner. Yeah, well, I was the instructor at that moment. And yeah, I am sharing my camera and my microphone, and I am using the whiteboard. So at real time, when I am drawing something, the student will see the content of the whiteboard and will see, of course, the video streaming. Pretty good. Now we can talk about slides. Yeah, when I give a class, it's super common, totally common, that you have to share your slides. And it is a pain that you have to stream your video with your screen, and you have to switch between applications, you know? So we decided to make it easier, you know? So the only thing, the only thing you have to do in Tich is upload a file with your slides deck. The students will receive that file, and all the events, yeah, provided by the instructor. If you switch between the slides, the students' clients will receive those changes, okay? So you are not streaming video. You don't worry about the bandwidth, and you will view the content in high quality. And the students can check the content anytime they need. Let's check a quick video of this example. In the right side is the view of the instructor, and in the back is the view of the student. So when the instructor changes the page of the slide, the student will receive those changes, okay? There is no need to send any video. Just upload your file and receive the changes. This is a diagram of how the flow of the information is being broadcasted. So we have the client of the instructor, and we push different commands through our server. So the server will receive these commands, for example, when the instructor changed the page or changed the file, in order to the web client for the students change the UI. Okay? This is an example of information broadcasted by the server. Perfect. So right now we are going to talk about the whiteboard, the big deal, you know. So yeah, I want to mention again that it is pretty important, because for Norberto and me was a real problem when we were giving classes and we don't have the proper tool to express our ideas at real time. So that is the main problem. So we decided to build a whiteboard. Okay, we did some research related with the whiteboard. And of course, you know, you had different solutions in order to draw in a surface and to transmit that information. Okay, you can do it with a mouse, you can do it with a mousepad or a touch screen, or if you have a lot of money, you can buy these new whiteboards made by Google, and you can create that kind of content. No? But you know, it's kind of expensive. It could be expensive. So we test some of these applications, because there are many whiteboard applications in the market. So it can be, the problem is that the interaction between the instructor and the application isn't direct. You know, you are not watching directly the surface you are drawing. If you use a Wacom, for example, it's kind of difficult, because the interaction is not direct. The same happens with a mouse or a mousepad. So as instructor, we don't like that experience. What we decided to do? We decided to research for more hardware, for different hardware in the market, and we decided to go with the Apple Pencil. Okay? The Apple Pencil can catch all related with the precision, can catch precision and the pressure of your draws, and we transmit that information. And yeah, the experience is direct, because you have an application, we built an application that is the surface of the whiteboard. So the whiteboard is updated at real time. We're going to check a quick example here. Well, again, we don't want to send video for that. This is the flow of the information. The instructor will have two clients, the iPad client and the web client. So imagine you are drawing something, yeah? The iPad will push that information to the server, and the server will constantly update the draws on any surface, on any client, no matter if it's the other client of students or the other client of instructor. And imagine you don't have the Apple Pencil. Imagine you don't have the iPad at that moment. You also can make a draw in the web interface. You can use all the tools that we already mentioned, because the protocol, the format we define it, it can be used by any tool. It doesn't matter. What is the format we are broadcasting? We use SVG. Why SVG? Excellent precision, lightweight, and we don't lose any quality, okay? Here are two papers that we read before to start the application. The first one, simple whiteboarding, and the second one, evaluating an instant messaging protocol. And those describes protocols that use XMPP, okay, in order to broadcast the information related with the draws. Yeah, and our protocol is pretty similar. This is the example of the information that we sent related with a pad, okay? We only send the information related with what user drew that, the coordinates of the pad. As you can see here, we are not starting with the command to start a pad on SVG, because they are constantly updated. We will see in a moment. And we also share information about the appearance of the draws, okay? So here is an example. This information is, user interface is the iPad application. So you are drawing with the Apple Pencil. You broadcast that information and you can see it in the web client, okay? So all the clients are updated at real time. Also, you can see how a new tag in the DOM has been added. Yeah, this G tag is added, okay? But it isn't a path. It isn't a path tag. So what we are doing here, okay? Since the Apple Pencil can detect pressure, yeah, we need to adapt SVG to support the different pressure and to smooth the lines, okay? So we need to check all that information and smooth the lines, create Bezier curves in order to adapt the variable stroke width of the draws, okay? And as you can see, this is just text. This is just text, and if we compress that, we can reduce again the bandwidth. So we compress it, and we are not spending too much information when we send that data related with paths. So how we store that information. So the objective here is that if somebody is late on the class, you know, when they connect, they should see any content previously created. So draws have to be restored on the whiteboard. Yes? And it's important to save the draws in order because we don't want to change the sequence of the coordinates, yeah, in the SVG. So it is very important to not collide the messages that are pushed to the server. Okay, so we use a RabbitMQ in order to have a quick way to sort all the messages pushed to the server. This is an example. When you join to the session, you will see any content previously created, and you will be focused on the last area the instructor was working on. Board interactions. It's very important that students can see what instructors are working on that moment. So imagine you have your iPad and you are navigating in the canvas. So you move the canvas, you zoom the canvas, and of course you want to broadcast those events. Here is an example. We have the iPad client here. We move the area, we zoom the area, and those events will be broadcasted. Here is the piece of information that is broadcasted. We only send a rectangle of the visible area. During the class, as we have said, the instructor will share several content sources. The instructor will switch between the slides, the whiteboard, the video, and students need to be synced, okay? So also, a student could see any content at any moment. What does that mean? It means, for example, that if the instructor here in the interface change between the whiteboard and change to the slides, the students will receive and will display these changes in order to be on track with the content that the instructor is working on, okay? But what happened if the student wants to change the content? Don't worry, because those events will not be broadcasted to the server. Here is an example of information broadcasted to change the content. A little keyword, just. And next, imagine you are in the real world. You have your whiteboard, and you don't have enough space to explain what you want to explain. So you have to raise your whiteboard, and people have to take some pictures, and it can be annoying. So we decided to create a way to have an infinite space to manage better your whiteboard and to have different pages of the whiteboard, okay? So in order to, students save the content created by the instructor, and the instructor can organize better decision content. This is an example. So the instructor will have a grid with different pages. He can move between the pages, and obviously these events between changing the pages of the whiteboard will be broadcasted, okay? Neat. Excellent. And all the previous slides, as you can see, were made for me. So I am not a good artist when I am drawing, as you can see. I am pretty bad, actually. So we think on that case, okay? So we are programmers. We are not, we are not good at drawing. So it will be great to have a feature to try to improve your schemes, okay? So we created shapes prediction with the Apple Pencil. So when you are drawing something that that is similar of a shape, it is predicted. So let's check. So here is the iPad, okay? When we draw something similar like a triangle, we always broadcast that information. We replace the previous path and we change it to a shape. So kind of great, yeah. What information we send here? We send the shape that we are using. Send the shape, for example, Elixir. We have to send also the coordinates, and important here, replace path ID, okay? Previously, you were drawing something, so you have to know what draw have to be erased in order to replace it with the shape. Excellent. And all this information, yeah, is broadcasted by Phoenix channels. And we want to share with you how we use them. This is the diagram of the information flow. Okay, so the iPad instructor and the web instructor will be pushing messages to the server, and the server will, of course, broadcasting this to the other clients. Okay, but there is a tricky thing. We decided to use multiple channels. Okay, so every client will be attached to two Phoenix channels always. Okay, we have a general channel, a board channel, which will receive, it will receive all the messages related with page creations, with page deleting, and page changes, okay? And we will have just one channel that will receive all the draws information related with the page. Why we decided to do in this way? Because we are avoiding front-end validations, and that's really, really important. Why, if we were using only one Phoenix channel, anytime you receive a draw, we should validate, okay, this draw is for this page. If it doesn't, this draw isn't for this page, I will not put in the interface, you know? So with this strategy, we avoid those validations. This is a quick flow of the synchronization of the board. So when you start a session, many things happen. Of course, you have to connect to the media server. You have to connect to many things. But what happens with the whiteboard? Okay. First of all, we need to retrieve an ID related with the board. Okay. This is related with the session of the course. Okay. So we join to that channel, and we need to restore all the pages. Okay, we retrieve the information of what pages were in the board. Okay, then we need the information, the information of which page was the last one used. Okay, that information will help us to join to the page channel. We will join to the page channel, and we will restore all the draws on that page. If the instructor changes the page, something similar will happen, okay? We will push a different event in order to change the page, and we will leave the previous channel, and we will join to the other channel related with the other page, okay? Then we restore, and at that moment, we can start to receive new draws. And that's all about the whiteboard. It has been great to build this tool because a quick fact is that the Phoenix channel and Elixir has been the only technology who has been a constant in our project. We have changed many things, like front end. We used Elm before, but it had many problems. Okay, actually, we used many media servers because it can be a total difficult task to find a good solution for the streaming. But Elixir and Phoenix is a constant, so that is great. That is totally great. Yeah. And with the help of that, we could build this awesome whiteboard. So thank you very much, Ed.
Okay, thank you very much, Pedro. Just to finish this talk, we would like to talk about a little bit about the future of the tool. Right now, well, we have a lot of ideas of how to improve and how to add more better ways to give a better class. And here we have some of them. First, we want to start to recording the sessions. The idea behind this is that we can also automatically create a transcript of all the audio that is generated and is recorded in order to start to have a better good way of doing searching for all the content that we are going to start to generate. The second one is that right now we're working in a way to transfer the control of all the things that Peter was showing about the sessions. So right now, for example, just the instructor is the one that can use, for example, the whiteboard. But the idea is that we can add support so that we can transfer that control to other people that is in the session. And in those cases, we can have more than one instructor, or maybe if one student needs to also draw in the whiteboard, well, as instructor, we can give that control to the student, and the student can start drawing with a good control of the whiteboard. And the third one is about quick sessions. The idea of quick session is like, it's kind of similar as the links that you have, for example, in Zoom, where maybe you want to give a link, just a link, and you don't want that the student needs to need to register in the tool, and just give the link, and then immediately can start participating in the session. So those are the things that we are working right now, and we hope that we can finish them hope that when, I don't know if Peter is going to be okay with this, but maybe in just one couple of months. But I hope so. I think Peter is worried right now. But well, the idea is that this is the things that we are working right now. So as today, this tool has been using for us internally, but we want to start to show it, and that more people, more companies, more people, individual people can start to using it. And for us, will be very helpful to have feedback about the tool and validate if these things that we are doing are really good or no. So if you are interested in trying Tich and maybe do some experimentation with it, then this is my email. You can contact me or send me a tweet. That's another way. So that's it. So again, thank you very much. And I don't know if you have any questions, we can start to answer.